Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Centre-Right Alliance with the.
And I'm going to be going by the name Center Right Federation as I talked about yesterday, but until I could change my name. But we're here to talk about the tragic incident yesterday that took place in San Bernardino, California, where apparently a bunch of locals were shot in a Christmas party over there by a bunch of Muslim terrorists by the name of Saeed Baruch or something like that. I can't really tell you like the names entirely, but for sure it was Islamic extremists, and it is very disgusting knowing that these people were all killed just in the name of in the name of Islam. We opened the doors for these people, and they still do this to us. And the left have been desperately trying to push the Syrian refugees into the U.S. and most countries of the West, but now with all these terrorist attacks, it's gonna ruin that.
Now, the trouble is let's think about it logically. So, basically, the unfortunate attack as the Centre-Right Federation, I can't even say the word, Federation, that's it, was just going on about it. As he says, it's a horrible, barbaric attack. But it does make you question whether Islam is supposed to be a religion of peace. I don't listen to all the lefties and nonsense. What I say is I don't take too much of an opposite view, but what I say is it is possible to tolerate Islam, but we need to consider the fact that there are still several countries that will back the death penalty for leaving Islam.
Yep. In fact, a lot of people on the left, as you said, you don't trust the lefties when it comes to all this stuff. People on the left were trying to turn away from this attack when they heard that the suspects were Muslims. When they heard that the culprits behind this attack were Muslims, they started to turn away from it like right away. And then they also want to blame white people and Republicans for it.
One of the troubles with the left is they'll sit there and call you racist.
They say that to anyone who disagrees with them on any issue.
Now, there are some okay lefties out there, but a lot of them seem to believe in this total, how can I put it, false what's it with the government, wonderful government, but it wasn't the government that did the medical discoveries, and it wasn't the government that created the roads.
Exactly. And the left also, even in Obama's speech, they were so quick to say that guns should be banned, even though California has one of the strictest gun laws. It's a democratic state and it has one of the strictest gun laws ever.
Typical lefties.
And Obama wanted to start talking about how evil guns were and stuff in every speech. If they can't make this a race issue, they'll try making it a gun issue. But let's say if a white man shot up a place, they'll either try to make it a gun issue or a racism issue.
Yes, that is a trouble. I mean, I think at the end of the day, everyone should have the right to bear arms in some form.
Exactly. Without these guns, I'm pretty sure if all those people carried guns in San Bernardino, I'm pretty sure they probably would have shot all those dudes there coming. The extremists.
Well, it's just another one of those unfortunate events, but then again, it seems to involve Islam.
What are your thoughts on all this? Lately, we've been seeing like Islamic fundamentalism, whether it's in the Black Lives Matter movement, whether we're talking about the Paris attacks that took place around November 13th, and now at this current moment.
It's just gone crazy. I mean, first of all, there was the unfortunate attack last year, the one to do with the offensive cartoon of Muhammad, Charlie.
Yeah, the Charlie Hebdo shooting.
That's one. And then about whatever amount of time later, we have the unfortunate tragic events in Paris, and now we have this.
Yeah, another thing I noticed is that kind of going back to like what Paul Joseph Watson and all of them have said, even Rocky Mr. E have said this. The left constantly like to make excuses for Islam.
Well, because the centre-right federation pointed out, it's just getting ridiculous that people live in totally a bit like Jeremy Corbyn and all his nutter lefty far-hugging tree views, as I like to call it. They say, "Oh, you're going to make the situation worse" when bombing Syria. Well, actually, they were going to attack us anyway.
Yeah, either way, if we don't bomb them, they're still going to be the deadly parasites that they are. So ISIS does need to go.
Of course it does. That's obvious.
Yep. That's why I'm hoping for this World War III to happen. And it's going to be a very positive thing, a very, very positive thing for everyone once it happens.
It's about time we stopped living in this complete It's about time we... How can I put it? It's about time we turned to other countries. It's about time we start putting people in their places.
Exactly. And it's time for us to eliminate ISIS for once and for all, and it's time for us also to stop this idea of Islam, the religion of peace. Islam, the religion of peace. There are some Muslims that will probably be good, but that's just a small minority of them. They need to start making changes to the religion, or else it's going to get worse.
It seems to be the younger people of Islam more than anything else. Yes, not the older.
Sharia law.
The trouble is, there's different versions of Sharia law.
Yeah.
But then again, you could argue, if we look at all religions 500 years ago, let's face the fact, there's all as bad as one another.
Exactly. Every single religion has its nutcase, its fanatics, its fundamentalists. But when it comes to Islam, it's almost like it comes mostly from them, even in the 21st century.
I do feel like that these days, I have to admit.
Yep. So yeah, that's about it. That's all we want to tell you guys, and our hearts go out to all those people who died in the attack.
My sympathy goes with the families and relatives and friends and so on and so forth.
Yep.
All right.
Have a good day.
Well, before I go, remember to subscribe to the Centre-Right Federation, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing a few more videos soon, probably debunking lefties, and I'm probably going to invite the Centre-Right Federation again to help me debunk one of these lefties at some stage.
All
right. This is us signing out.
Good day, everyone.
Good day.
The culprits behind yesterday's tragic shooting at a Christmas party in San Bernardino have been identified as devout Muslim Saeed Farouk and his wife Tashfeen Malik. But who did the left rush to blame within minutes, before we knew anything about the shooters, before the bodies were even cold? White people, conservatives, Donald Trump supporters, the NRA, gun owners, pro-lifers, and all men in general.
If the mainstream media won't call it terrorism, we will. End white terror! Maybe we should put white conservative men in concentration camps to protect ourselves. We can eliminate mass shootings today. Make it illegal for white men ages 15 to 65 to own guns. Yo, GOP, kinda hard to talk about keeping people safe when your peeps are shooting up America. Another day, another mass shooting perpetrated by white men in America, and they're worried about Syrians. White terrorism exists, digest it. So when are we going to start classifying white men as terrorists?
These are the same people who lectured us about not blaming all Muslims for the Paris massacre. And isn't it amazing how the left suddenly lost all interest in the story when it emerged that the shooters were Muslim. The maniacal call to revoke the Second Amendment suddenly disappeared. Why is the left's appetite for gun control almost entirely dependent on the race or religion of the shooter? The feverish urge to label it an act of terrorism suddenly disappeared. Now they're calling it workplace violence, despite the fact that the shooters were extremely well prepared, had pipe bombs, assault rifles, wore body armour and GoPro cameras, and left booby traps at their apartment. But this was just an impromptu argument that got out of hand. Okay, Farouk just happened to have tactical gear and explosives lying around at home after his little holiday to Saudi Arabia. And now we learn that numerous neighbours refused to report the couple's suspicious activity before the attack for fear of being labelled racist. Once again, just as with the Bryce Williams shooting, political correctness is now so virulent it's costing people's lives. But hey, maybe the shooters were offended by the Christmas party. Maybe the victims are to blame for provoking the killers. That's the argument leftists made after the Charlie Hebdo massacre. So why not now? Listen, it's instructive to analyse whether or not the violent and intolerant religion of Islam had anything to do with Saeed Farouk's rampage. It's instructive to note that Ismail Brinsley's desire to carry out a Black Lives Matter revenge attack led to the murder of 2 NYPD cops. It's instructive to understand the unhinged and radical beliefs that led Dylan Roof to massacre 9 black churchgoers. What's completely worthless is to blame an entire race for a tragedy within minutes before you even know anything about what happened, simply to bolster your political agenda and virtue signal to all your trendy progressive friends on Twitter. And then abandon that entire narrative and pretend nothing happened when reality doesn't conform to your bias. So when the next mass shooting happens, whether the culprit is black, white or Arab, let's not use it to castigate an entire race. Let's not immediately hijack the tragedy before the bodies are cold to advance our political agenda. Let's not attack people simply for offering their prayers to the victims. Let's wait until the facts are known before making complete fools out of ourselves.